Okay, this is a video for the KBear KS1. I think I'm going to have to do a top 5 list for $30 and below because this is another set. This is $19 and it's worth $19. Like I can wreck this, definitely. It's got its quirks and a couple things about it, but $19, yes. This is a picture. I want to point out the nozzle mesh that's on this. This is something that I have a personal, it's a pet peeve because sometimes they put balanced armatures in the stem and they jam it up. That doesn't make sense if you're talking about music and how to use and place transducers. And then sometimes they put like a aluminum foil looking stamped, it's not even a screen, it's just a ghetto piece of metal with like holes poked in it. And this has a proper kind of mesh that you might find on filters that come with some better stuff. So this is a nice, it's got a nice proper stem with a nice lip. It's got a nice mesh in between it. This photograph is courtesy of Bisonicer. He's a big earphone reviewer here in Japan, and he follows me and I follow him. Thank you for letting me use your picture. He apparently did a review for this. I can't read Japanese, so I can't tell what he thought about it. So I'll go ahead and close this and give you my opinion of it. I think this is a good set. I think listening to my library, big boy, something with a lot of low ed frequency has enormous impact. It slams very hard. It hits very good. When I listen to something like Black Sabbath, Sweet Leaf, the drum play and the bass guitar, it sounds very good. It's a $19 set and I'm enjoying it a lot. Ozzy Osbourne sounded actually very good, but that's a part of the dip that there is in the mids, and it's depending on what you're listening to, it is a good thing or it is a bad thing. For Black Sabbath, it was fine. Listening to Can't Find My Way Home by Blind Faith, Steve Winwood's vocals were a little bit back and I noticed it, and it gave me a grainy replay that reminded me of old Sony earphones. I'm not comparing this to them, but it gave me that kind of same sense. Not great, but pleasing to listen to, if that makes sense. The EX800 doesn't look anything like this on a graph, but this reminded me of that for reasons that I can't quite, it's just the way the brain reacts. I know I'm listening to high fidelity sound, but it is still pleasing nonetheless. Let's take a quick look at the graph again. You got bass that's elevated. This is in comparison to what I just wrecked, which is the DQ6 by KZ. I think the DQ6 is generally a more pleasing set. It's using 3 dynamic drivers and it's doing everything right. That said, and it's particular here, this portion right here is where the vocals sound. It's got the gain that's slightly reduced and then it's got a bigger dip. You can hear this. It's fascinating how this works out, how you can read graphs and you can really glean a lot. This area right here is why Ozzy Osbourne sounds pretty much normal, and on this he sounds actually good because Ozzy's got that rough voice that can be screaming and piercing, and he is toned down by this tuning. So for something like that, it's great. For low frequency instruments like bass and kick drum, I had no problems. For vocals, depending on the singer, for Ozzy Osbourne, I found it to be pleasurable. For Steve Winwood, I noticed him being slightly back. The rest of the treble replay, I thought that cymbal strike quality on the DQ6 is better than it is on the KS1. The KS1 is more of a psh and more quick. The graph doesn't really reflect that, but it doesn't sound quite as of the quality of the DQ6. But I got to keep reminding myself as I look at a $3,000 set that this is $19 and it does a pretty good job. If you're focused on vocals a lot, this might not be ideal, and the DQ6 would probably be a set that would be more fitting to you. If you listen to stuff like Massive Attack, Triphop, a lot of hip-hop, stuff that's got a lot of EDM, it's got a lot of droning, low frequency, this might be the pick over the DQ6, because while that does it great, this bass elevation, particularly in the mid-bass, gives a lot more energy and force to low frequency hits. So this is the KS1. It doesn't have any notable issues with the upper treble in comparison to the DQ6. They both do it decently in their price range. They punch above it. That's why I'm thinking about doing a top sub 30, top 5. Like, I didn't even consider that a year ago, but there's some good stuff out there. The DQ6, $27. This comes in at $19. The QKZ VK4, I think that's what that was called. That's like $9. There's some stuff out there that you can get decent. Match the set to your library. If you have a library like mine, probably the better match would be the DQ6. But there's a lot of people that listen to Massive Attack and music like that more than I do. Their library leans more towards the low end. You might be all right with this more so because it's got a lot of impact. So it really, library is everything. It's really the context. We're all here for music. This is all about music. These are music bands. This is all gear that plays back to music. So what you listen to usually dictates what is more appropriate. Good and bad is an opinion. And then it's also got a variable that is, what are you talking about music-wise? So this is a good set for one library, and it's less so for another. And the DQ6 is better for probably my library. But I've got to mention doing a top 5 for sub 30 because I'm doing a video for this. This is $19 and I'm doing a video for it because it's a pretty good set. I wreck it. $19. Not sorry. If you just got the DQ6, should you run out and grab this? I wouldn't think so. If you're looking for a beater to throw around and you listen to a lot of stuff with low end, you like that impact. The vocals will be a little bit back, but the treble will be fine. So basically we're talking about the bass and the treble. So like a V shape that's done fairly decently at a decent price. Then that would be the KBear KS1. It's a decent set. It gets the wreck. It's $19 for God's sakes. And then probably the next video is going to be a $3,000 set. So we're really going all across the rainbow here. And that's it. Nice short video for a nice affordable set. KBear KS1. Yeah. For the low end, definitely. For the treble, it seems fine. Though cymbals quality crashes are not on the level of DQ6. It's acceptable. If you listen to stuff, certain things, it might not even be an issue. Cymbals I'm talking about. And I'm out. Coming from Queens. Coming.